Hello my friends, today I want to show you this extremely powerful grinder. For this experiment I've took my very old angle grinder. I've decided to clean it a bit with this drill brush. This tool has been working with me for about 10 years. And now it's time to get new skills for next heavy duty task. But first need to clean this 10 years age dirt. So I think plywood it will be the best material for this device. Matthias Wandel convincingly proved reliability of this material. Sometimes it may be appropriate even for heavy duty machines. But in this time it's just an experiment. I wanna check will my idea work or not. It's a main advantage of plywood. You can make some trial version very fast and check how it works. And then, if everything is okay, you can build final version of your device from steel or something else. Meanwhile, I am marking hole places with this stamping way. There will be not a through holes, just for screw heads. Next two holes I am making through plywood for longer screws. I have replaced these original short screws by these longer ones. And now I need to make rollers. I will do it with my CNC. And what I can say to my colleagues, woodworkers and everything makers like me, even if you don't need to be specialized CNC machinist and don't need to make complicated CNC projects, nevertheless you can solve a lot of very small and simple questions which are so hard to overcome sometimes. For example, these simple rollers. Of course I can make them with 10 different ways. But firstly, it would be not so accurate like CNC work, and it's a pretty boring work for me. Let's machine works. But most of interesting things I will leave for myself. There will be 3 rollers, this big one and 2 of small size. I need to make them 25 mm width, but I don't have so thick plywood and will make them from 2 layers. This is 15 mm plywood and this already 10. I lift tops and thin layer of plywood to prevent them drop out. I am separating them by knife and clean with sandpaper. I am gluing my rings together and wait for drying. Still they are drying, I need to make next part of my device. They have dried up and I can to install ball bearings inside. First I decided to use 4 ball bearings in row for one roller. I have wanted to make construction of rollers as possible simpler. And now I need to make them a little bit rounded with my grinder. It needs to prevent sandpaper belt to jump off. I am holding the roller tilted and my belt sander are winded and grind. I wanna try to lock ball bearings inside with this cyanoacrylic glue. I know it's not a usual proper way to keep ball bearings in rollers. I should to make stepped place for them, but this also experiment with cyanoacrylic glue. And here I am covering a roller outside with the same cyanoacrylic glue to make surface of plywood more stable. And the same things with my big roller. I am locking in on place, holding tilted and grind. I couldn't grind back side of the roller this way and was forced to hold it by hands. Thus I was able to do it, and next I am again covering it by cyanoacrylic glue. Finally I've got greedy and decided to save half of ball bearings. I have decided to replace them with simple nuts and one washer between them. I am using acrylic glue again. I can say it's a pretty good way to keep something temporary, if you're not sure would it be there or not. So now I need to make a narrow sandpaper belt. And I'm using for this my homemade scale for usual pencil. First I'm making a line around all belt and cutting it by knife with a metal ruler. So I've got my narrow belt, let's try it on place. And here you can see a very simple way to insert screw in plywood without any nuts. I just need to make hole 1 mm smaller than screw. It is the best way for experiment for trial places. Next I need to cut excessive plywood with my jigsaw and a bandsaw. Let's try to assemble them together. And the last part of project, I need to make stop screw here. First I was thinking about spring, metal spring in this place, but I didn't find hard enough spring. And here I also don't use any metal nuts. I have one long time unfinished project. This biological shaped chair. I couldn't finish it because it takes too much time to grind. So let's try to make it with this new tool. So it makes too much dust. I think I can use it. It's a really fast way to grind wood. It's a pretty flexible machine. So, thank you for watching. See you next time.